I don't know for the other businesses, but the spirit of sharing the knowledge is amazing. We don't feel in competition. We feel like everybody wants us to be good, and I think people have in mind, like people like Paul in a big brewery or the MBQ, have in mind that we want the Quebec to be a destination of quality beer. Like everybody gonna have an advantage. So just helping each other is gonna bring everybody up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All Beer Inside. I'm your not so humble host, Carp, and today we are in Berthierville, Quebec, and joining me is David from Locomotiv Brewing.
Hey, Carp.
Hey, thank you very much for having. As you could see on the camera, you are very much in the midst of creating the brewery.
Exactly.
So
big work in progress.
Yeah, very much a work in progress, and when it comes due, I look forward to actually enjoying a pint here when it's up and running with the Lanode beer. So we're out here. It is end of November. We're recording this. What's your beer story?
Okay, it's quite still a long story, but it's the classical story of the homebrewer at the university to drink for cheap.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it. So we're talking about 20 years ago almost, and start brewing with some friends that already brewed before. In this case, I was brewing with Mathieu Boilly, who is now the owner of La Chasse Peinte in Lens Saint-Jean. So we both started our brewery in different places. But yeah, that's it. So I was studying in science, and I found out that brewing was, well, the big parts of the science in the brewery very interesting.
Quite ironic today.
Yeah. So for my part, it's more a lab than a kitchen, and that's what I liked about it. It's a place where I could always bring the science thinking for creating a great product. The passion just grew up, and I've always been brewing since with some other friends while I was moving from different places.
Yeah.
But I've always been brewing in 100 liters as a home brewer. And yeah, after some point, like making festivals or meeting more and more people passionate about the brew, well, some people from my hometown, Berthierville, said, yeah, okay, let's go, we do it. It's the right timing. Well, we said that before the pandemic, but the timing seems to be good. We're talking about something like 3 years ago. And okay, like you're the brewer, you're gonna be the manager. So we find all our forces in a different part of a business, and we decided to go forward.
The insanity that the pandemic's created. It's I mean, we're at the point now where I think we've interviewed just as many breweries that have opened during the pandemic versus like open way before the pandemic. It's right like there. It's
but
wild.
There's some good in it for us because well, it forces us to go a little slower in the development of our brewery. And honestly, it's a good thing that we could make better choices more slowly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I started noticing you guys that your labels are fairly unique with the gentleman holding the train, and you have the lady as well on the other can. So you do stand out at it, and I'm like, oh, these guys are new, so let's start drinking beers. And then I message you, and you're like, yeah, not on Zoom. I'm like, I agree. Let's do this in person when we can, and thankfully we're able to do that now. So you did bring out a couple of beers. I'm gonna try your Amber. What's your Amber about?
They are all recipes that I developed with my friend Dave at home. We've been brewing this one for more than 10 years and a few times a year, and it's always been very popular. It's like we do a recipe and we try, for this one, we try tea with jasmin flower. And we've calibrate the dosage of each ingredient after the years. And that was one of our favorites, so we decided to put it in a can. That's about it. It's well, a little bit of amber because well, it's not so much amber. You know, when you're brewing at home and you're going for the 800 liter, there's some things that not exactly where we thought it would be, but we're still pretty proud of this one. Yeah.
And you're gonna have your New England?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the New England about?
Well, honestly, it's because we very we love the New Englands in general, all the citrus and the floral, and so well, the philosophy is still to brew what we like to drink. When you're an home brewer, that's obvious. You brew what you like to drink because you have a lot of beer to drink when you brew at the house. But that's it. We brewed a lot of IPA, and when we like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe a little more, start hearing about those NEPA. Well, let's try that. Let's go there. It's still a classic NEPA because well, we're with the citrus taste. There's still bitterness, but not so much like we.
Okay, awesome.
Cheers.
Toast, as we do on the show.
Toast.
Perfect. So this is very rare. I'm very like, oh, don't drink out of a can, but it's our only option since you don't even have glasses here right now.
I'm not a very good host
no.
now.
You're more than a good enough host because you're actually having us in to speak about your brewery. So we're very appreciative that anybody who's willing to open their doors and their passion to us, we're very appreciative of. So. Awesome. So, I mean, outside the pandemic, what were some other problems that you had, either finding a location or getting the guys together? And, you know, you're doing this, I'm obviously brewing, and you're doing that. Like, what are some roadblocks and difficulties you ran into creating Locomotiv to where it's going to be from where it was?
Yeah, well, that's a good thing to talk about because there was a lot of things. And we all come from other work before. We all have a full-time job, so well, we did a lot of meetings just to find the name or the branding. But the big thing was the location. It was obvious that we wanted to be in Berthierville. It's our hometown, and we know a lot of people in Berthierville, and we love this town. And so we've tried. It's the fourth building that we started to do the plans, and there are some other building that we went quite far and even putting a lot of money and to eventually find out well, it won't work. So we've been spending like 3-4 months on a building, and okay, we have to give up on this one, let's find another one. So that was a big thing. And even with this place, it wasn't supposed to be that much of work. Like, we got in, we make the plans, and start cutting the concrete for the
drains.
And find out that, oh, there's water under the concrete. Okay. Well, that's just another thing. 2 steps forward, 3 steps backward. That's been the thing for a few months. So we actually had to bring a small pipin inside, an electric one, and we took all the concrete out by that little door. So there's a lot of work on that, and that have been the main thing. For the rest, that's a business. We're 4 guys. We are all new in this, so eventually we learn to know each other. Well, we face some difficulty, and I think that's what's gonna make us a strong team. That we don't give up, and we go forward. And there's gonna be adversity a lot of time, but we're gonna face it, I think. And that's a part of our logo, you know. Our name is Locomotiv, and the branding is a guy or girl pulling hard, because it's not a machine that is pulling. It's humans, and that's what we wanted to use as a symbol. Like, we're working hard, and That's us.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, what made you decide the name Locomotiv as?
Yeah. Well, that's one. It's because one of the other building that we were supposed to start the brewery in. It was right beside an old railway.
Okay.
So we thought, hey, there's something cool to do with that. So my friend Dominic, one of the owner, thought about the name Locomotiv because inside, loco in French, local ingredients. We want to go for as local as we can for some beer.
Yes.
Not all our beers, there are some ingredients that we're gonna take very far.
Yeah.
But for some beer, we want to be as local as possible. Motivation. And loco at the same time in Spanish, it's crazy. And for us, it was a crazy project. I know that like there's 260 something brewery in Quebec. It doesn't sound crazy anymore, but for us, it was still a crazy project.
You're mentioning local, and we're all about supporting local.
Yeah.
We have only done interviews in Canada, obviously, so far, but we're all about supporting the local business guy.
Yeah,
that's super important. And that was an even bigger thing during the pandemic. People were like, oh, I'm never going to buy this guy. I'm never going to buy that guy. And us as a show, we're like, we've been doing that for years now. We've been buying local for years. And that's always been an important part, even if it's just Pub Brewski or McCausland.
And that's what allow us to be a very small brewery and still, be able to be in business, because here we're gonna brew only 200 liters batches. We still will do our big batches at La Forge du Malt in 800 liters, but for the pub here and maybe a little bit of the distribution around. And that's a very cool thing to be able to be a small brewery, because I think that's what I know. I know how to be a small brewery. Being a big like a 2,000 liter brewery, I would be scared. But small 200 liters, we can try to brew all the crazy things that we want.
Yeah.
It's 200 liters.
Yeah.
There is always gonna be some people who love the product.
Yeah.
It happened to me quite a few times that I brew a beer, I'm not so proud of it at home. I'm talking, and I'm like, I don't think I will keep it. Maybe I should flush it.
Yeah.
And at some point, there's some friend, they taste it.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa, that's the best beer ever.
Yeah.
What you mean, best beer ever? I was flushing it. Well, okay, you go away with the kegs. they're yours.
That's great. You're trying to support local, obviously. You want your town to be a bigger known town, and I'll be honest, I didn't know that much about Berthierville until I discovered you guys. So
you will. Yeah, it's gonna be big.
Yeah, the Lanaudière, the poll with Alchemist, the Lanaudière, that's a huge thing. Like, come on, and now there's the Canton de l'Est. They have their breweries, so everybody getting together, and the AMBQ helps as well as that we can discover. Somebody like myself who's kind of internet savvy can easily discover new breweries across Quebec, Ontario, the New England area of America, and then eventually Maritimes and Western Canada.
You've named two things that I think are really important with Lanaudière that have been started with Paul Brisset, the Alchemist, and the AMBQ. We just had a congress 2 weeks ago. I think, I don't know for the other businesses, but the spirit of sharing the knowledge is amazing. We don't feel in competition. We feel like everybody wants us to be good. And I think people have in mind, like people like Paul in a big brewery or the MBQ, have in mind that we want the Quebec to be a destination of quality beer.
Yes.
Like everybody gonna have an advantage. So just helping each other is gonna bring everybody up.
Yeah.
I think that's an amazing philosophy for all our small businesses.
Yeah, I mean, we travel for beer. There's no question about that, and it's like discovering places. And it was during the pandemic that I saw Lanaudière starting to become a thing, and I'm like, and I'd been speaking with Paul previous pandemic or during pandemic, where it's like, hey, when are we going to do an interview? And he's like, I got a thing now. You can discover all of us. So now I have the map at home, and okay, I contacted this guy, we interviewed this guy, so it's great, and it's sharing too. I'm sure if is it Beaten Brevet or Bete Brevet?
From The Alchemist?
It's a nano brewery out here, I believe.
I don't
but I'm
know
sure
them
if they call you when you're a little more up and running, obviously not at Forge, and it's like, oh, I'm out of crystal malts. Do you have any extra? Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Just pass me some hops when you're ready. So
I can't wait to be helpful for a smaller business that the startup, because I've been helped a lot, and I want to give to the next.
Kind of speaking on that now, I know you brew at Forge du Malt. Have you done a collab with them yet, or has it just been Locomotiv?
Yeah, we have the 8 kinds of beer that we brew. We didn't do a collabo with them. We did some other collabo. We did one with La Veillée. We did a sour stout. It was amazing. We've talked next week to do it again, because it was one of my favorite. I went to brew, like I said earlier, in Lance Saint-Jean at La Chasse-Pinte with my friend Mathieu. It's not all collabo. Sometimes it's just I had the chance to go brew there, so I did. I did the same with Tadoussac or even Le Prospecteur. It's places that I went to brew because I knew some people. Recently, I met one of my old friends that I've learned that he's brewing at the Avant-Garde, so I'm looking for a collabo maybe there. Or I have a friend in New Brunswick that is brewing at the Foghorn Brewery, so I'm looking for some other collabo. That's another big part of the fun with the brewery world.
I'm sure you with Forge du Malt and all the other guys in Lanaude Bière, even going out to the Canton.
Well, for Lanaude Bière, there's a strategy of collabo that we're supposed to work on in the next year, like many different collabo to have a special brand for Lanaude Bière.
Just need a super collab and just call it the Lanaude Bière.
In Lac Saint-Jean they did it a few years ago. They were 13 brewery to do a collab together.
That's crazy.
I don't think that's where we're gonna go, but for sure we're gonna do some collabo.
Who does your labeling and stuff? Because they're it's very the same design, not the same design, but the same design in the end. What I'm trying to say is it's very like, you see it stands out.
Well, we don't have the choice for that. And, with a few hundred beers on the shelf, we wanted to be a little bit uniform.
Yeah.
So we just changed the colors of the square. On dit en damier. So and the logo in the squares are changing a little bit. It's Pierre-Marc Duguay, the designer. The guy pulling the chain is my friend Marc Riopel from Saint-Côme. And for the rest, well, it's basically I think for most of the can, it's me that have decided what we wrote on, and for the names, that's like we started a little bit, not a little bit. We started very basic on just naming either the color or the kind of beer, but we just started to get out of this because at some point, if you have 2 or 3 IPA, you have to change the name.
Well, I mean, you could do New England IPA 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I know. That's right. But the last IPA we've got out, we name it the Scie Mécanique. And it's another story of a beer that we've been brewing for like another 10 years at home, and because we live in the forest, me and my friend that I'm brewing with, Dave. We live in the forest, and we've been working with the chainsaw a lot. So at some point, let's do an IPA that that is biting bitterness like a chainsaw. So that's how we named it, and I think for more and more, we're gonna put some original names on our beer.
I've always said, like, if I ever start a brewery, I'm more of a project manager type. I'm not the brewing type. I like that side of creativity, but beer is science and art at the same time. So maybe I could become a brewer at some point. I have zero training on it, but who knows? And it's I would name it this way, and here's what I'm going to name my brewery. And like, I have the ideas. It's just really, time and money. So.
Yeah, well, and then it's the team that you need the right team.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been brewing for almost 20 years, and a lot of people on the way have suggested me, hey, start a brewery, and I've been saying no quite a few times because I was not sure with this guy or with the other one. So, but now I've waited for the right team, and I got it now.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are, like you said, right now it's March. It looks like is your tentative opening month.
Yeah, that's it.
Who knows what could delay, or maybe you guys all of a sudden are like, hey, we could open in February, we're done. But it is obviously very, you just got it the place from what we can tell.
Yeah, well, like I said, we had to strip the place up to the walls, and it forces us to change the plans. But yes, March is the month that we are aiming for the opening. But I won't put my hand on the fire.
No, you don't want to curse yourself in any way. You don't want to be like March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, we're opening.
That would be good. Yeah,
it's but you don't want to, you don't want to put the cart before the horse. You don't want to say that. And for anybody who's in the area, it's just. I'm like, is it here? I saw online, and it's a Napa Auto Parts. What's going on? So, but yeah, it's. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a great destination. We already saw you're building a stage for music. Obviously, you're going to have coming up and stuff like that. So that's super cool. I mean, what are kind of some plans for when the brewery's up and running? Obviously, you mentioned there's going to be a kitchen, so you're going to have a food menu. Will you do like a food and beer pairing, or is that just? Here's kind of pub grub and.
No, we're gonna have the food and beer pairing for sure. We have a lot of friends that are very good tasters, better than what I am to put it with the right meal.
Yeah.
And that's it. We have the stage in front, so we are all big fans of music. We're playing music, so obviously there's gonna be a lot of music. And the board games, we're gonna have those. Quiet place for board games. The building next to us is going to be taken down.
Okay.
So we're going to have a terrace over there.
Cool.
A big one. And all the downtown is being rebuilt in the next 2-3 years. So it's going to be a great destination. We have the St. Laurent River just by us, 100 meters. So there's the people coming by boat. There's a lot of bicycle going by too, going to les îles de Sorel, Berthierville, Sorel.
Yeah.
And we have a great spot for. Well, it's a great destination for like boat, bike, cars, because the highway 40 is just next to us too. So that's good for it. And for the place, we want to create a place that people feels good to be after a good day at work.
Yeah.
We don't want people here coming drinking to pass out.
No, you don't. It's so that I live in Verdun in Montreal, and we didn't have any beer that you couldn't have a meal with for 100 years in Verdun because it was a dry county, because people would just go there to get drunk. And then Benelux decided to, the city approached Benelux and said, hey, you want to open a place? And his response is, it's not easy to get really drunk on $8 a beer.
Yeah, no.
So,
and it's expensive. That's the point. But we started to write on our can. It's not on those yet, but our new slogan, tant qu'à boire, on boit bien, means if you're going to drink, drink well.
Yes.
Not drink a lot, but drink well. Yeah. So that's a big point. Like you said, I'm a high school teacher, and I have the chance to talk about it with the kids very often. And like, for sure, a part of the kids are like, you got a brewery, you're awesome. I'm like, but first, you can't afford that kind of beer because
18-year-olds aren't getting drunk on craft beer.
It. And we are like claiming it's you have to drink with moderation. It's an important thing.
Yeah, no, we were about that. Never drink and drive, obviously, and drink in moderation. Don't. But there's times, especially during the pandemic, it's like, I'm going to have a couple of double IPAs. I'm like, oh, I'm drunk, but I'm at home, so I can't. And there's a pandemic going on. I can't go out anywhere. So it's, no, but whenever myself and my friends, we go out, we go grab a few beers somewhere. It's either Uber home if we can, or there'll be a designated driver. So it's the same thing. I'm sure it's going to be weird when you have that kid you taught like 2 or 3 years ago all of a sudden coming in here and having beers.
Yeah, well,
it's
I'm
just be like, hey, teacher David.
I'm already a little bit used to it because my oldest students are now like 32. And
wow.
And I have to take some beer with some of my old students. That's okay. That's a good thing. It's a fun thing.
Oh, that's great. So I know it's probably far away this is going to happen, but once you could take a vacation again, a beer destination, a beercation, as I like to call, either one you've already been to that you'd love to go to again, or somewhere you've never been that you'd love to, let's say go to Oktoberfest in Germany or something like that.
Yeah, well, I've never been to Europe at all, and well, for sure, I know that's a great destination, but at the same time. I don't know. I'm not sure that's where I would go first. I think I would. Well, I've been in Vermont a few times, and I've tried a few brewery over there. Yeah. I'd like to, maybe go from Vermont to California and stop by a few brewery on the way in Colorado.
I mean, I think outside of Utah, almost every state has something like 100 and something breweries.
Yeah. So, and there's some very, very famous. So I think I won't go so far, just south in the States. But at the same time, like you said, it won't happen before maybe a few years from now. So just with what I have in Quebec, I'm quite happy. Like I have plenty of brewery to still try in Quebec, and that's already enough for me.
No, I mean, for us, it's, we haven't done Quebec City. Well, obviously the pandemic put a lid on everything, but it was, we still haven't done Quebec City. We haven't done, obviously Gaspésie and stuff like that, but that's like, the Gaspé and stuff is a while away. Like doing the Birth of du Ciel and Oval and stuff, that's a heck of a drive for us. So that's not going to be a one-day thing where you're only an hour from Montreal. So anybody who wants to come here, grab a beer with a few friends, hit a few of your friends in the area, which we'll get to shortly. It's not that hard to do.
No,
you have a designated driver or somebody who doesn't drink, or too bad, like you're not drinking this weekend, we're going here. But next weekend, all driving, we're going to Canton de l'Est. But you have that group of Montrealers come here. They start with you in March, April, let's say. They enjoy your beers. What are some other breweries in the area that you're like, you have to go here, you have to try some beers?
Well, the famous Malmström with Michael Fizet as a brewer owner, that is helping us with some good clues. Well, that's the one you have to go. And I'd say to the Albion in Joliette. They're both like 20 minutes from here. So that's places where we used to go and that inspired us a lot. If you go a little more north, you have Le Tricarré in Saint-Côme. That's a place we like a lot too. So that might be the three first, but you've talked about Lanaudière a lot, so that would be it for me. I would suggest just take the map of Lanaudière and we are 15 breweries in Lanaudière. There's McFurley that just opened in l'Assomption, La Côte à Beau-Soleil in Saint-Jean-de-Mata. So
Fermenteur, Lusbrunn. Yeah, you guys have a lot out here.
Yeah.
So thankfully we've been able to interview McFairley, obviously as chimist. But future ones are, like you said, Très Carré, Lusbrunn. There's so you said there's 15 breweries in this area right now.
Yeah.
Who knows from a year from now if there'll be 20, 25. It's
two
great.
more per year.
Yeah.
There's still some village that they don't have their brewery. So I think there's going to be one brewery per village soon enough.
Yeah, a brewery per city or kind of, let's say, surrounding area would be great. And you've obviously got quite the little marketplace and your kind of downtown core with the, hey, go shop at Rossi's and then come drink beer. So,
why not?
Or, hey, go, I don't know if there's a beach. I've honestly never been here. So if there's a beach, come buy some cans and bring your cans to the beach.
We don't have a beach, but we have les Îles de Sorel, and there's plenty of place to drink on the side of the St. Laurent.
Yeah. What made you decide to go right into cans instead of trying bottles or anything like that?
Well, we still like the bottles, but the market is not there, you know.
Yeah.
If we, La Forge du Malte queue us on it, like they had both to offer, and les détaillants wouldn't take any bottle if they have the choice. So it was obvious for us. But when we're gonna be brewing here, for sure we're gonna do some special release in bottle, because we're nostalgic about the bottle and have a big respect for brewery that keep on bottling their beer. So yeah, that's just because of the market. Because
Awesome. I mean, I have no other questions. This has been a great talk today. I really appreciate you taking time out of your obviously very busy schedule to speak with us about your up and coming. Obviously, your brand's already out there. You can find them at local Quebec beer stores.
We have about 200 point of distribution.
Yeah. I know you're in Montreal. You're available at Malte Hops. I think I've seen you at the IGA in LaSalle. So that's when it comes for me.
Yeah.
I'm assuming where can be on your website, do you have like a list of where you can buy the beer?
Yeah, the website is still, some part of it is under construction, but it's Brasserie Locomotiv .com, no E at Locomotiv. And on the website we have a map that show all of our point of distribution.
Okay. Yeah. And where can people find you on social media?
Facebook, mostly Facebook, Instagram too. Brasserie Locomotiv, it's our name to find us everywhere. Yeah, that would be it.
Awesome. So we're going to add all that in the show notes. As for us, it's at All Beer Inside on all social media. allbeerinside.com is the website. It is getting restructured. It may be ready by the time this episode is out. As for us, send us an email, allbeerinside@gmail.com. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and make any comments. That also helps us on the show. And as I say at the end of all episodes, drink craft, not crap.
Yeah, thank you.
Toast.
Cheers.